And we're live. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's session where we're going to be talking about YouTube SEO, how to rank your videos, and of course, answering any questions that you guys may have. And the channel is sponsored by the news guy. His logo is above, the link is below. So please do check him out and give him a little love there. And Franklin is here.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Good to see you, Franklin, as always. But we are also here to answer any questions that you guys may have. So if you do have any questions, please put them in the chat. Let us know where you are, all that kind of stuff as well, where you're listening in from. And we'll do our best to answer as many questions as we can. There is Bogdan as well. Hello. Supreme SEO is here. Hello.
He's in there. He's in the building.
He's in the building. And Skylar is here as well. Skylar, why are you hanging around still? You're not sick of me just yet. But yeah, since spring training, Skylar has been an avid watcher.
So, that's good.
Yeah,
Hooray.
Why not? I just didn't think my chat was up to that much, but maybe it's you here to see, Chris.
Perhaps. You never know.
My ego tells me it's me, but it very well could be you. Oh God. But before we go to the questions, Chris, we've touched this topic before, but I want to touch on it again. YouTube SEO. Over the years we have compared notes, what's working, what's not, fucking around in the background with various different bits and bobs in order to get your videos ranking well. And I think, there's a lot of people out there now coming out, making videos, think YouTube's a piece of piss and, cranking out videos and maybe going, oh, well, why is mine's not, getting traffic or whatever. Obviously, optimization of the videos and targeting keywords and various other bits and bobs are key to it. And, we used to also fight for terms like CTR manipulation. I kind of gave up on it in the end. I know you probably still go hard at it on there. Nah, you're not bothering with that one. It didn't bring much, to be fair.
Well, we blew that up, though. If you go look at the volume, like that was, I'm not, yanking our chains, but be honest. Let's be honest. There was zero before you and I started talking about that.
Yeah. And there was a fun story one day, guys, where Chris felt like going after the keyword I was going after.
There was nothing. We were just like having fun with it. And now there's like 20,000.
But you were selling a CTR course as well. So you didn't challenge me, but I took it as a challenge where you're like,
well, you were beating me. I was like, well, I had to go grab that because I was coming out with the training.
But then I had to go grab it back. And then you actually had to pay me for some of the training stuff that I sent you as an affiliate. So that was a fun story where because I wouldn't have went after it hadn't you fucking said on a live, like, Craig, you're going after my keyword or I'm going after your keyword or whatever it was. And I'm like, what the fuck keyword are you talking about? And then that came up and I was like, oh, all right. But like I said, it was always fun. But, it's important if you take the time and effort to make these videos, because someone like yourself, Chris, you spend a hell of a lot of time making these videos, but it doesn't take that much to go that extra mile to rank the fucker. So I'm just curious what things are working for you at the moment, that you're willing to give up. Because we've spoke about CTR, we've spoken about micro workers, all of that kind of stuff in the past. And obviously certain things like that maybe are no longer as effective, such as micro workers. I'm just curious to know roughly an idea of what you're doing or seen working in videos just now?
So I mean, I spent a month in my group going over what I would call the formula because I had a new channel. Actually, after talking to your buddy, he gave me some inspiration, and he said he was going after a term, local lead gen. So you know how I get. Oh,
Mhm.
are you? Are you now? So, and then he went in there like he did the what I wasn't willing to do because I was just testing, which he just flooded it with, you know, like, hey, I am the entity within this because I have 9,000 videos about it, which hooray, because I wasn't going for it other than a test. So with that being said, I mean, I could go over some of the notes because I spent a lot of time primarily going for local lead generation agency, local lead generation company, local lead generation strategy. And then the other piece of it, why it was really interesting for me is because, and maybe it was because that's what tickled his fancy too, was who was dominating was at the time when I started the test was Hermosi and like Gary V. So, and they had millions of views. So the long story short though is while I was testing it, like once the traffic on a new channel, like if you have no authority in the space, so that's a big key piece is do you have authority on X topic? Like have you talked about it more than once? Like most notably, like for us, like I've been coming on here since 2016 talking about SEO and local SEO. I'm the authority on local SEO. When I put out a video, it's going to go, right? But it took a long time. You know, like if I put out something on local SEO now in my main channel, it's going to rank. Now it might fall over time, but it's going to go right up there. So that you can't rush that. But what you can rush, or what I learned from these tests, are when you first create the video, like you mentioned, let's start with the optimization. Getting the key optimization points down is critical. And some of those would be like the things that I focus on. I'll just read right off my notes here. Are the video schema or the chapters, density of primary key term variation and entities within the description. Do I have a playlist and do my videos show up in the playlist and then link back up? Is there cross-linking between like videos? Like, are you cross-referencing just like internal links? Like, internal links matter on YouTube, in my opinion. I noticed a difference. So you want to cross-link from relevant stuff to relevant stuff. I mean, gee, who would have thought? Have the playlist. That's like having a page or a top-level category. Think about a website. I have a top-level category on, say, local lead generation. And then underneath that, I have 5 videos, local lead generation agency, local lead generation strategy. I cross-link all these and I link up to the primary thing that I want to rank. Make sense? You know? So that's was highly effective. That did work. That was part of it. Hashtag usage. So hashtags, I think they get weighted just like A tags within a page, but in for a video description. So hashtags are A tags. A tags have more weight within a video description. So you want to utilize those. The big one for me, I was actually watching a guy I'm not too big of a fan of, but I was watching him pump up the comments, right? Asking the audience, but really, you know, when you flood in 100 comments within 10 minutes, like it's blatantly obvious what's going on. So I was like, okay, that's effective. So what I figured out was if you blast all the comments, what I did is every single comment had the primary term in it. So I would buy like 50, get the comments in there with primary term. And then what I learned is if you want to keep the video up, it's in the responses. So if you just go in one day and answer them all, waste of your time. But now if you go in there and you answer 3, it's like it adds staying power to the video. That's what the comments do. That was a big epiphany for me.
Yeah.
Moving on, the SRT file. So I did a secondary test to figure out, is it worth it? Like, why do all the big guys spend all this money on these SRT files? Like, it can't be to have the end user be able to read the words of the video. Like, that can't be. So I made a video called Skippy the Clown. And my Skippy the Clown video was actually me saying, I have a proxy network. I have a proxy network. I have a proxy network. But what I did is I wrote in the SRT file, Skippy the Clown, Skippy the Clown, Skippy the Clown. And you'll never guess what? My proxy video ranked for Skippy the Clown, and the only optimization was within that file. So getting that SRT file with primary keyword density, effective. Next thing, OCR, or however you want to look at this. If you take a look at the source code of your video, the long story short of it is this. Like if you look at the source code, Google they break the video up into mini thumbnails. And I was like, damn, why is this in the server? They are taking shots to understand, is the context of the video, is there anything illegal in the background? Is the context of like what your lips are slapping and what you're optimizing for, is that what actually is going on in the video? And what I quickly realized is if I put the words within the video, and putting the words is one way to do it. Like putting text, like if I'm going for local lead gen, having the word local lead gen is helpful for optimization, like in the video. Other than that, we can talk about like traffic. See, when I had this one up, I had a lead generation agency, a local lead generation company. During the time of the test, when we had it, running in the top 5, top 3, while the traffic is running, and I tried different types of traffic, like it could be literally what we learned is this. I'll just give you one tip, and then I'll stop talking because I feel like I'm saying too much.
Keep talking, dude. Keep talking.
I spent a month doing this. I'm like, I was waiting for somebody to tell. I spent a lot of time doing this, But yeah, what I learned is like I noticed all the guys that are flipping like views for cheap, but they're showing up. I couldn't figure out because I was running my own view bots and I couldn't get the pop up. So I started looking at them like, damn, how are they doing this? And what I learned is if you're running an external to one single page, it only counts as one view. But if you launch that external viewer, right, jQuery viewer, on a new page, it gets counted as a new view each time, right? So there's your slow views, and that's how you'll keep the video up. If that makes sense to any of you, that's the ticket. That was a big one for us. You got to keep that traffic running, at least if you're manipulating it and you have no authority. Like I went in there with 4 videos and we were up there ranking while the traffic was ranking. Like now I think the videos fell to like position, like page 2. If you were looking at them, like 10 is page 1, 20 is page 2. So like they fell now. But I stopped all traffic. I'm not doing anything. Like the channel's not about that at all. So like I have no authority. But that was the traffic piece. I touched on the optimization. Yeah. Oh, I'll give you this one too. That first, like there's segments. I don't know how to describe this, but look at your analytics. The way YouTube is breaking up first 24 hours, first 48, first 72, first week. Those are your 3-4 most critical times. Like this is where, in my opinion, like watching the numbers organically, I realized that these are the testing stages in which YouTube is going to show you again naturally. So if you know when these times are, that's when you spike it. And I noticed you get more staying power doing that. So that's all I have to say about this for now. I have more, but that's it.
What are those times?
Well, it's at those marks. So it's the 24-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour, 7-day. And then that's those first 7 days. If you don't get hits at each of those times, you're cooked. Like if you're not, like that's where everything is. And to even like what really made me start looking at this is there was a dude, he sells, if you look up like local SEO course, dude pumps ads, but he pumps ads. It's like a Spanish guy, nice guy. He's a really nice guy. And he has like it's like blue and white, but he pumps ads at critical times. And he mentioned it too. Like I start the ads when I start to see the fall off after the first day. start to see the fall off. I think he said he starts it after the 48-hour mark, like the second day. Like I'll start pumping ads at these critical times and increase budgets based upon those times. And then too, like he showed the graphs. I think you were there. You know who I'm talking about? I think he was at the Philippine one. A Spanish guy. If you go look up right now, like local SEO courses, like he's all over. He's just straight doing affiliate. But like his stuff goes, and that's how he's doing it. So I was just manipulating his strategy. I was trying to do it cheaper. I don't want to spend money. So
yeah.
But yeah, what he was talking, I believe him because it worked. It's highly effective. So that's all right. Well, that'll wrap it up for me. I have way more, but
can only get a limited amount of information. Don't give it all away. Don't give it all away. But Victor, who's a friend of mine, is asking. He's starting a channel just now. Now he's got a skill that you and I don't, Chris. He speaks Portuguese, which is his native language, which none of us two mugs could ever do. What would you do in Victor's shoes, right? So he can come in and he can start in English, and he speaks very good English. Would you go after that, or would you, if you had that skill, would you go in for Portuguese and like dominate that? What would be your approach, knowing what you know now? Because there's fucking hundreds of us churning out videos. If you had his skill, would you go, nah, man, I can get a leg up here with this Portuguese shit?
Is it for SEO?
Yeah, I would imagine so, yeah.
100% because the Portuguese, like, look at the channels that go. Like, the Spanish dominated, like, they're just SEO subpar, but they're Spanish primarily. Like, those go. Brazil, they go. The Indian, I forget the name of the city, but it's in India, Bangla. Just because they're in Bangla, there you go. So I think yes, but unfortunately, not to hinder, like, go for it. Definitely, you'll do better than you are right now, even though I don't think it's a prominent market, Portuguese. But yes, I think that's a leg up. However, right now, unfortunately, I don't know, like, I saw Mr. Beast talking about it, but if you go into your channel right now and you accept for them to train on your videos, like there's a list of all the AI models, like you say, hey, I allow you to use my videos to train all these models. I just turned on the ones that are most prominent and Google related. It gives you the ability now, it launches and creates transcripts automatic for free in all the languages. And it gives you the dubs in all the languages. So I don't know if you saw that.
Nah.
Yeah. Allow your channel to do be trained by AI, or AI to be trained on your channel. You allow that, they start to give you the features, like the extra features.
Is that on the back end of YouTube? Do you know what that is?
I do. You want me to show you?
Yeah.
Like right this second? I'll show you.
Yeah. Because I forget otherwise.
And then two, I guess that could be country specific, but I'll show you. Give me 1 second. Let me get in here so I'm not showing anything crazy. Give me 1 second and I'll be happy to show you.
Because if I don't do it now, I never will. That's the kind of guy I am. I forget about it after this session.
Yeah.
I'm like, you motherfucker.
No, just give me 1 second. Let me get inside of here.
But Victor, I think English, all I would also say, Victor, is a lot of these other native languages, is there money in our industry in those countries as well? It's all good and well, ranking well and churning the videos out, but if it doesn't turn to money, it's a slight problem as well. So I think I would try and test both.
Okay. So if you go in, do you want me to show my screen?
No, okay. You can just tell me.
So you go into your, you go to your main channel, you go into settings, and then when you get into settings in the channel, like, how there's Google settings and YouTube channel settings, your channel settings, click channel, and then there'll be 3 options. There's basic info, advanced settings.
In fact, Chris, can you fucking
Yes, sir.
share your screen?
I thought you said no, you don't have to.
When you start saying there's channel settings and YouTube settings.
I have no problem. I'll whip it out right now. Let me just get it ready here. That doesn't sound right.
Here we go.
Let me show you. Here, right here.
Right, so you're in YouTube Studio. Right, give me 1 second till I get there. Right, settings.
And then Big Daddy has it on. I saw Mr. BC App is slapping his. He's like, yeah, I fired my whole team because Google's allowing these dubs now, and it'll do that. What they're about to apply is the automatic dubbing of your voice. And I was like, what? I ran in there and I clicked everything. I was like, yep. Like, that's free traffic. I need that. So,
all right. So I'm on here. So it's got third-party training.
So allow third party. So it shouldn't be checked automatic. So check this and then allow third-party companies and then select third-party companies. See how there's a drop down? Oh, I thought I selected them. I guess I just did them all, but you can be picky. I could have swore I went in here and just checked like the ones I knew, like Amazon, Adobe, Apple, but it's up to you. You do whatever you'd like.
I'm fucking clicking
I guess that's what I had, so that's what I'm rocking with. Yeah, you can train on my stuff. Go for it. Of course. Like, get me in the loop. Right?
Go here. Yeah, get my fucking shit in there, man.
Heck yeah. Like, by all means, take my content and reward me with being the authority with over 2,000 videos talking about X subject. Of course you can train on me. By golly, don't do me any favors.
Save. That's me done. Thank you for that.
And then like, if you go read in the agreements, like, you can do that. Like, they're going to start doing the voice dubs, and then they're going to give you the options. Like, I'm sure, did you sign up for like the beta features too? Like, sign up for all that? Okay. So they're supposed to start adding, like, you know how we have the beta features for the enhancements, for the clipping and all, like, there's been extra stuff being added. The next one's supposed to be for the dubbing and then the auto SRT or transcript closed caption files. And that's why I did this, because that's supposed to be the next phase. That's what I want. Yeah. Because that'll open up. That's awesome. I never realized, like, I talked to Americans and, others, and the markets that I love to serve, like, they don't even go there. Right. But now it opens it up. I just love that. That makes me so happy. Like, get them all. Get them all.
Get them all. Exactly.
Okay. How do I shut this down now?
I've shut it down anyway, so people can no longer see it.
That's fun. Why does SEMrush show?
And Amna, straight after this, the full session will be live on YouTube. So straight after we cut off, the full recording will be on there. So hopefully that helps you, Amna. Veer has a question, Chris. Why does SEMrush show 600k traffic while Ahrefs shows only 110,000 for the same site? Why is there such a big difference in the traffic?
Do you remember when SEMrush IPO'd? I don't know if you've checked recently. Yeah. There's a difference between a $50 million company and a $400 million company. A big difference. I think SEMrush is just superior at this point. Unfortunately, Samo's going to have to work for SEMrush. No, I don't know. I think SEMrush just has much better data. They have more crawlers.
SEMrush invested a lot in their servers and back end. There was always an ongoing battle, Chris, with who had the best data, who had this, who had that, for many years. But I think SEMrush in my opinion, have steamrolled ahead and invested heavily in that side. So I would absolutely say you're on the money there with that. You know, they've just got bigger, better resources,
right
and that's all it is. You
and
can
I got
really
in
say.
on that IPO. I was happy. I sold out when it before it crashed. By the way, sorry, boys. So I just have. I'm just dying to check. Oh my god, dude, SEMrush's market cap is 1.6 B.
Really?
That's their market cap. 1.62 B market cap. That's
wow.
They're getting cheddar. Oh my god. And they're so nice. See, Ahrefs wouldn't even give me the time of day. SEMrush was like, oh, come over here. Respectful, nice the whole time. What do you need? How can I help? The Ahrefs guys? No. So I'm glad they're winning. I'm rooting for SEMrush.
I've got a lot of time. I've got a lot of time for SEMrush. I used to work pretty closely with them. I used to do webinars for them. I used to speak for them. Yeah, they were good to me, and helped me massively on my personal journey. So it's always nice to see them go on and progress.
They're corporate, and like they give me that. Like I have the correspondence with like different ladies. Like, who's the freaking brand ambassador, or who do I talk to now? You know, like which one of you ladies?
It used to be a lot better. It used to be a lot better where it would just be like a big family and everyone knew each other and shit. But obviously, when you go to that level, there's legal people involved, there's HR involved, there's people for this, people for that. So, you know, when you get to that stature, unfortunately, maybe that personalization is lost a little bit.
And they listen to us, Craig. But I swear to you, I was belly aching. Now I'm just probably an egomaniac, maybe, perhaps, I don't know. I swear, me and you were talking. I was belly aching and saying that Ahrefs, the only thing that Ahrefs has was they made it very, very easy to find those broken links and do the crawls to go and get the expired domains with the hot links. I swear to you, on this update right here, they have that feature now, and it's not in the top plan in the Guru, it's in the basic.
Yeah. They have social listening and they have people watching all the time. They ain't fucking around. You know, what SEMrush used to do many years ago, Chris, is they actually used to invite a whole bunch of us to... I've been to Finland, I'd been to Portugal with them. Now, basically, they would take you there, they would put you up in a hotel, they would take you out for food and all that stuff. But the main reason for that was we sat with the guys, the individual product owners who own like the different components of SEMrush. So we would sit with the audit guy, and the audit guy would sit and go, right, Craig, what do you fucking want to see in this? What does his audit not do that you need it to do? And shit like that. And you know, you would give them feedback and they would go away and implement it, because they're not SEOs, if that makes sense. They have all of this data and they want to present it to us in the way that suits us. So they used to do that every year, dude. And literally they would just say, you tell me what you fucking need to see because we've got the data. How do you want this shit laid out? What do you fucking want to see? So they were very, very good at taking that shit on board. And I would imagine still to this day, they're listening, they're watching, they're liaising with different people saying, you know, you do audits every day, Chris. You're the audit guy. What do you want to see in a fucking audit? What are we fucking missing out on here? So I think they're very, very hands-on, or they were certainly very hands-on in that respect. And I would imagine they absolutely still would be.
Well, now I noticed too, like, I'm not sponsored by SEMrush, by the way. SEMrush, you want to put me on, let me know.
Yeah, listen to this, SEMrush. We're looking for a few quid. Come our way.
They really don't need me now. But I noticed, though, they used to not do this. Like, they would have that box that would pop up. Now there's that little tool bubble. I cried about this, too. Like, they kept interrupting my search, my analysis, right? With those little pop-ups, like the chat windows. Like, hey, whoa, like almost like if you dwelled on a page too long, hey, what's wrong? Is there something wrong? Now there's these little tool things. And if you have a trouble, you'll always see these little circle. It's very discreet, but it pops up if you sit on something for a minute. And it's like, dude, they're so polished right now. I love it. The new look looks good. They're polished. There's an issue. They're like super responsive, like an actual human, or at least it feels like a human. Man, I love SEMrush. I'm rooting for you, SEMrush. I used to own your stock. I'll work for stock too, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Chris will work for anything. A free fucking beer.
Well, I won't get much out of me for that, but I might. Oh, it's fun. Chris needs Jordans. I remember when that was like a serious concern. I'm like, dang, yo, man, this kid's growing quick. Yeah. I keep buying him gear. He's growing out of it. Like, I'd run at the mall and like spend like 4 or 5. I'd be like, dude, and like a month would pass. I'd be like, dang, you little bugger. Like, shoot, you grew out of it already? Like, what? Yeah. Just spent 500. I love that. Oh, man, I miss those days. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. So Franklin is saying, what are the benefits of allowing third parties to train with your videos? You kind of touched on it, Chris, but just a brief summary again of why.
No matter what, I mean, we're uploading it on their systems. It's already in the terms of service. But like with every there's give and take no matter what. They would have took it anyway. So if I could get in line first, like I don't know what they're using it for. I don't know what the benefit would be. But I did notice this, and I'm sure you'll get the same thing. As soon as I accepted that, like initially, I got an email, and I bet you get the same thing, and they'll ask you to do a survey. And then the survey is, hey, will you give us more feedback on, and then it was like a million questions about the AI and, just a bunch of stuff. It was weird. It took me like 40 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? I don't know what the benefit is, but I do know that the whole web is all data. So if I get feet of mine before everyone else, it can only benefit me.
Yeah.
So I really have no clue what they're doing. I'm not I do SEO for law firms. Like I'm trying to generate leads. Like I have no clue. I just know they asked for it. Here you go. You can have it.
If they asked for it,
yes, sir. Yes, I'm just happy to be in line. Like you want it?
Yeah.
Sure. Keep sending the traffic.
Like you say though, they were taking it anyway. Right. So you're as well just agreeing to it. So yeah. But next one, Honey, can YouTube Shorts drive traffic to a news website significantly? So what's your thoughts on Shorts in general? Obviously they're asking to send traffic to a news website. Do you think that can send significant amounts of traffic?
For me, I watched significantly. I do feel as though Google almost looks at YouTube like a news station, and Google or YouTube wants you to utilize each of their tool sets and you get rewarded accordingly, right? So for the platform itself and being rewarded and getting more lift and getting the traffic, great. But for my niche, for what I'm doing, when I look at the data of that, like, no, that's people that come in on through short, even if I pump ad, that's not driving clicks on sales. That's not consultations. That's not citation packs. That's not link building. That's not service. That's not monthly recurring. That demographic is not what I'm aiming for.
But it's brand awareness, though.
Right, distribution. I think it's great for distribution. But as far as like what I'm doing, so I guess my answer is I don't know on the news, but for what I'm doing, I did not, it's not for me. I think it takes a little bit more rapport and a little bit more time. So I like a little bit of a longer form. But yes, for distribution within this platform, yes, the shorts are necessary. as far as driving to a news station or a news, your like to your question, I don't know because I never did that. I know it doesn't drive sales.
What I see, honey, certainly in the area that I'm in, I see a lot of YouTube shorts, TikTok shorts, all of that stuff with a view to forcing people over to see the full story. Absolutely. So there's always a teaser like man murdered here or whatever it may be, and then obviously it's enticing you in where you need to go see who was murdered or where it was murdered. You know, if it was in your local area. So I think it absolutely can if it's done properly. But like Chris says, is that going to turn into money? Now, of course, for a news website, the money is in the traffic that they get. So, you know, their journalists and whatever else are paid on the impressions and everything that an article gets. So, Chris, from a journalist perspective,
that's what I wanted to add. Yes.
The journalist can put out Chris Palmer's this or Chris Palmer's that. Now, that's only going to get maybe a couple of thousand clicks or whatever it may be. Their ass is going to get whipped by their superiors because they've put a story up about you and you're not really newsworthy and you know the story's shit. Whereas, you know, if it was something that's going to get 100,000 views, they look like God. Right. You know, they've got the first dibs on whatever it may be. So they're basically, you know, having to leverage these things to hit their KPIs. So I think absolutely, honey, you know, from that perspective, absolutely.
And you said, if you're, what I want to inform to help inform you to know that I'm the best choice, right? But what I did notice is for just driving traffic and getting people to a site or to a page, yes, the shorts are amazing. But as far as like the follow through, that demographic for me was not good. But yeah, you're going to get way more impressions, way more views, way more visits to the site for way cheaper using shorts. That is 100% sure. Yes. But as far as actual sales, when tracking after looking at it over the last 6 months, nope. There has to be, it's more than two touches on long form video content. And then that's the cost.
Dude, they reckon it's between 7 and 11 touches in a lot of niches now before people buy statistically. So you're saying more than 2, but yeah.
Well, that's like the attribution. I think I have it set at 60. I guess I could do 90 days, but I've been watching a 60-day window. Like how many times have they been engaged with me in this window? Usually 2, and then they come over.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But another question on top of that, Chris, you obviously say that you don't feel YouTube Shorts works for you, but for anyone else, we spoke about it, I don't know, maybe a year or 2 ago, and you said to me, Craig, I am going to have a separate channel for YouTube Shorts. Do you think by having Shorts on your main channel, because obviously earlier on you spoke about authority and trust and all that kind of stuff, would having lots of Shorts out there dilute the trust or authority or power of your channel? Why would you maybe have a different channel for Shorts?
Well, it's just during the time of execution. Maybe it was my strategy, because for me, a data set is 1,000 units. So was my goal, and that's what we cranked out. I cranked out the 1,000 shorts in a 60-day span to see. It just started to dwindle in time, and that could be, it's quality, yada, 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 right? But quality is subjective. And so the long story short, what I realized was it was probably the execution and the rate. Like doing 4 shorts a day, yeah, maybe that's not the best strategy. So, but now, like it's for me now, I just try to do 1 to 3 a week. And I notice that they get the distribution, they get the push. So to your question, do I think that it would be diluted by talking about the same subject within short form? No, I do not. But doing the 4 a day, and trying to max it because they were hot, that was not the proper strategy, and it actually was hurting my long form videos. And that's why I was like, I'm doing a different channel. And then I executed on the new channel, but there was no traction. So I was like, okay, right. It's always testing. I'm always learning. But I think it was my execution. The 4 a day diluted the channel. Yes. Big.
I think four a day is fucking aggressive, man.
Well, that's how I roll, man. I'm not messing with it.
I think we when we were at spring training, we joked with James Dooley. James Dooley, see if you give him an idea, he doesn't just do 1 or 2 of them. It's like 22. The guy's insane. So, and it's a bit like you know, and there's certain other people in the industry. I think Holly Starks would be another one where these people don't fuck around, just try and shit out once or twice. You know, they're trying it out fucking 30,
yeah,
32
times. 32 times, then I'm no for sure.
Motherfuckers. Yeah, but you're like, fucking hell, you're burning this shit to the ground. You know, that strategy is getting fucking torched before it's even out there. So
well, I started what really got me tickled with that was I started doing the 2, and I noticed, okay, I started doing the 4, and then I think the lady that I had doing, Andrea, who I had doing it, she screwed up and she pumped the whole month out in one shot. And I was like, oh, but I noticed some of them did 4 views, some of them did 1,200, some of them did 400. And I was like, so then I erased those, all the ones that did crappy. I started doing 4 a day. And that's, that was another lesson. So, but I think you want to mix them up.
I think you can start to piss people off with that kind of aggression. Yeah. It's the same with TikTok and stuff. People will often say, post between 3 and 5 times a day. And you're like, unless I've got something funny or meaningful to say,
it has to be
3 to 5 times a day, then I'm not doing it. I'm not just going to do it just to tick a box. I think that's the fucking height of stupidity, because people are going to say, look at I'm sick of seeing this motherfucker. If you could churn out quality at that amount per day and people were engaged with it, then absolutely. Tough. But that's the fine balance of getting quality over quantity.
I really I've been watching or like I do small little tests. What I'm finding for me, at least, and the last couple you might have seen it if anybody follows me, is you have a long form video, but before the long form video, you make a short that's really just what I'm going to cover and showcase within this how-to. That's going to be a half-hour video or 12-minute video. It's just a quick overview. And that's the short. Like, hey, here's the quick tip that you're going to learn, and then here's the actual implementation. And that's been working very, very well. People seem to like that.
Yeah. I think what I also like, Chris, when I see people doing podcast shorts, and at the start of it, it goes through like 3 or 4 things that are really like controversial, and you're like, oh, you motherfucker, I need to watch this whole podcast. Because there's certain snippets from throughout that podcast where you're like, motherfuckers drop this, motherfuckers drop that.
What else they say?
It's like, and you're like, so like for you, if you were to see something of me going, oh, I've got some fucking YouTube bot and this and that, and then I said something else and something else, you'd be like, motherfucker, I need to watch all of this because he's giving something away there that I need. So it's common sense, really, to try and suck those people in. So I can see why that would work very well.
Yeah, it works. I like that. Yeah, hammering the shorts is not a good idea. Yeah, that's what's working now. And then too, I was taking it easy just because I had a bunch of projects. I've been taking it kind of easy, just doing the 5 videos a week, whether that's short or long form or whatever.
I think for me, Chris, I stopped. I'm launching a whole bunch of stuff very, very soon, but I don't think you can consistently keep. There's not enough in the industry that's different to keep that volume. There isn't. Some of the stuff's just going to be absolute chronic. Like, it's different doing lives and answering questions and all that shit, but there's only so many times you can give up a GMB
tutorial
session,
or guide or
a black hat
traffic.
or a link building or whatever. You're just like, man, there's only so many ways you can fucking.
But if Chase didn't teach us anything, like I dude, Chase put me on to so much marketing stuff. It's unbelievable. But like he did it, like that was his own test. Like the same video, literally for 30 days straight. And you ever like, did you like, yeah, the thumbnail changed and the first 2 minutes changed, but it was literally the same video 30 times. And then the view counts are up and down just like normal, but it was literally the same thing, the same pit, like identically, except for the first 2 minutes in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So like and like I spoke to him, and it's almost like if you go check your analytics, there's new people entering the market at all times. Now, obviously, AI is way hotter than SEO.
Yeah.
But there's still a massive amount of people. Like the world's huge.
Yeah.
So, you know, but do I think that doing 5 videos a day, that's like overkill?
Nah.
One a day is fair.
What you say about Chase and maybe doing a different intro to the video,
big.
People are going to get sucked in very, very quickly using different stuff. So, but also what I would argue is if you put stuff out very quickly, your stuff drops down someone's feeds. So you've got to do it different times of the day and all this kind of stuff. And one thing I don't think people do enough of is repurposing a lot of the good stuff they've got. They always try and create new stuff rather than potentially repurposing some of the stuff you've already said, but maybe just
that new intro,
attacking it slightly differently. So he's obviously a very smart guy, Chase. I've got a lot of time for Chase.
And he's been ahead of that now.
Oh, dude, he's
got that AI way first. Really, when you go looking, it's like, dang, like he's been ahead a couple times.
I'll be absolutely honest. When I seen Chase diving into that stuff, I thought, fucking, this guy's
another Chase. Chase, not a Chase.
Fucking around. I didn't see him. I mean, I thought he was a great marketer and stuff like that, but I'm just like, he's just fucked SEO off and went down this rabbit hole of doing all that automation stuff. And you're like, nah, that seems a bit fucking a shitty, like short-term way to make money.
Tony Robbins.
And then you're like, motherfucker, Chase, why didn't you tell me?
Dang it! He did though.
Well, yeah, I know, but sometimes you need someone to pull you to the side and say, motherfucker, this is the one.
He's like, this is gonna hit. He was calling me, begging me. Not begging, but like, bro. It's like, dude, you're wasting your time. This is next.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm good.
Yeah. But fair play.
Fair play.
Abdul is saying, how can we train freshers, have graduated and are joining the work of SEO? And since these people are a startup, how can he run training to them? So what's the best way to train these freshers, Chris, in your opinion? They're a startup, so I'm assuming budget is maybe not a big thing that they've got.
Yeah, I know. I can only speak from my own experience, and like running a team, I've only done it once, like at a scale of more than 3 or 4 dudes sitting in a basement just trying to get money, right? Like, so with that being said, what I've learned, and I wasted lots of money doing the videos, the SOPs, the SOPs, the all the softwares and the scribe house and all that crap. What I would do is either yourself, which I know sucks, or you go and get someone like my brother and duplicate yourself, and you have them sit, and whatever the process is, sit with them, because there's so many nuances and questions and back and forth. And it's like, I would have somebody sitting there and train them, get them trained right. And then that's money in the bank. It's worth it. It's weight in gold to have them trained right. And it actually expedites the process. It only seems costly up front, but it's actually not. So I would get a human being to sit with them, execute, answer all the questions, get them on the right track quick and fast, because really they'll be trained up within 2 weeks to 30 days, depending on what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
I would have a human do it. That was my opinion. That's what we do.
Yeah.
If I have something that really needs to get done, I show my brother because I trust him. Like, this is it, and then you train the people on that. You got. That's my opinion.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Trust is a big thing for me.
Huge.
And over the years, what I've also found, Abdul, is I've spent time training people, then they're buggered off very quickly, which is very frustrating. Then you've got to do it again and again and again. So I think what Chris is saying makes a hell of a lot of sense. Get someone you trust to do it, and document the SOP and everything else. And then, people do churn, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter how good a boss you are or how well you pay them, or anything like that. People will bail out on you for the sake of another $20 or whatever it may be. So I think you've just got to be prepared that is the model when you're working with freshers and stuff like that. And they might just not like the industry. So there's a danger there when you've got young people that they may not stick around. So I think you kind of have to make that whole thing very regimented and make it a process rather than spending a huge amount of your time or resources on it. So make it once, and then that can be utilised time and time again for the different people that you get on board. But there's plenty of information out there. Chris's YouTube channel, my own YouTube channel. There's various other people's YouTube channels as well. Get pull together some of the best videos on the topics that you focus on. Chris has got a lot of good stuff out there. On local and stuff like that, in particular. I think you would struggle to find anyone with anything more than what Chris is offering. So, if it's local stuff you're doing, absolutely go there, grab some of his videos, put them into a sheet or whatever, because there's tons of them. You just need to watch them and figure out which ones are new, which ones are most relevant to you. Because there might be things that Chris does that you don't like.
Sure.
Whatever. So I would just go and grab what Chris has done, put them in a sheet, and not just Chris. There's many other people out there doing different things, and give them that as well. So or need someone to just come in and fucking train and record the fucking thing, and then use that time and time again. The only issue with that is things change very often. So Chris could tell you next week what is amazing from a local SEO perspective, and then 2 weeks later, that shit no longer works. Not through Chris's fault, just because Google are douchebags, and that's just the way it goes. So
yeah, like info content.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, man? Like, what?
It's a pain in the ass. It's a real pain in the ass.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, but
man, Abdul, my friend, too. Another thing I got ripped on or burnt. Like somebody you trust, like a brother, whether it's blood or not. Like, we're getting money together and we're gonna ride this out, right? That's who you put on. That's your trainer. Plus, they have other jobs too, right? But those freshers, I like that word, freshers. Don't give them too many pieces. Like they, keep them segmented. Like, don't put them onto the vendors. Don't put them on they're trained on this. And that's what they do. When they punch in, that's their job. And then too, you don't want a mutiny forming too. Like, keep them separate. Like, I learned that lesson too. Keep the workers separate. Also too, workers will bring other workers. Nah, I'll pick the workers. Don't let, if you get one good worker and they're like, oh, I got a cousin or an uncle, and it seems cool at first. But no, you don't want that, and you want to keep them separate. So keep them separate. Don't let them bring in other people, new money. And that's my best advice. These are hard lessons to learn as we've gone on.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all I have.
And James Gape, give us a thumbs up. Anyone else who is watching, do give us a thumbs up so that we know you are still watching. But if you've got any last minute questions, please do put them in the chat before we do wrap up. Questions are dying a death, Chris. Absolutely fucking dying a death. People are there. They just ain't asking.
They're there, and I felt like we've engaged the entire time. Like, I didn't feel like I was sitting and waiting for stuff to talk about. But I am well rested this week. Like, we've been working lately, so. But this week I feel on point, man. I feel good. Yeah, I've been getting rest lately.
Do you ever have a holiday, Chris? Like, do you ever like stop for a week and go somewhere with the family? Like,
on like Saturday, Sunday, I usually hang out with little Chris, but I don't like when I go on those like events. That's like a day off or whatever, or days off. But no, I don't.
You don't really have days off?
No, never.
Fuck. I don't know how you do it, dude. Like, I need sometimes just to have a week or two off, man. Like, just I'm gonna retire before 65. Like, I'm gonna sit. I don't think I'll ever sit down, but I want to sit down. When I sit down, I'm gonna sit down. You know what I mean? Like, this is prime time right now. And like, I've watched all my family and everybody. Like, once you start slowing up and getting sick, like, I want to make sure I'm on. Like, when that starts happening. So that's my main focus right now. Put me and little Chris on, and then we'll worry about sitting down later. That's the truth. Oh, man.
Like, I'm healthy. Like, let's run it. And then it's coming fast right now. Like, no sitting down. Not right now.
No, it makes sense if you can do it. I think with your personality type and stuff, I don't think you could probably sit down anyway. I think you'd be, 2 hours at the pool and your fucking ass would be twitching, needing to get to a laptop to go and blow some fucking burn. I've not burned any proxies in a couple of hours, man. I need my fix.
I do. I get itchy too, and I'll be thinking like, man, I wonder what I should. Do you ever get like that? See, not so much with like little C, like, but I used to like, let's say like you were dating or whatever, and you're like walking, holding hands, and you're like, damn, I should be working. Like, why ain't I getting money right now? Like, why am I even walking with you? Like,
come on.
Get like crazy, I swear, bro. Like, I used to be thinking like that.
Yeah. Luckily, I met my wife before. Yeah, but I ain't going to lie. I remember there was a certain period at the start of my SEO journey where I'd be sat up till like 4 a.m. like on the laptop. I was in forums. I was chatting shit to people and on MSN talking to people and all this stuff. And she's like, "What, Craig? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, come to bed. You need to relax and all of this stuff." And it didn't cause relationship problems, but I mean, she's just like, dude, you're fucking, you need to fucking chill out, man. What the hell? So there was probably a period of years where I was like full, right obsessed with it, and I couldn't sleep because of it, man. I'm just like, fuck, I need to see this. I need to talk to that motherfucker. I need to see what this guy's doing, and it was interesting.
It's an obsession. Yeah, I've definitely chilled out as time has progressed, but and there's always a loss. Where's that dude at? Abdul. No, you want this? What are you willing to? With every plus, there's a minus. Like, what are you willing to exchange for that success over there, Abdul, my friend? Like, there's something's got to go. Like, I talk to guys and they're like, "Oh man, like, got the wife, got chilling with the kid." And I'm like, "Well, you're not getting money then." Like, there has to be something, man. I don't know why. Isn't that weird? You didn't experience this, Craig?
Not really.
There's always a loss somewhere. Whether it's I don't go to the gym as much, maybe don't eat as clean. Like, there's something. Whenever I find myself chasing a big goal, there's always like a loss on the other end. It's a weird thing.
There is, but we've got a last question.
Craig's the best. Oh, we have a last question here. Let's wrap this up there, Palmer boy.
Does posting weekly on your GBP really help your SEO?
Weekly? Daily? So can you point to your finger and say, well, I didn't do anything else, right? Because you'll use a donor or you'll set up test cases, right? And just posting, just doing that by itself, will that be the thing that propels you to green goblins on a grid? No. However, as part of a overall, if I'm not doing this, here's a test for you. If you have one listing, or say you have a client, don't do any posting at all, and you're doing this. And then on this one, don't even do 3 a day, do 2 a day. And point it to the pages that are actually relevant. And then you tell me if it's worth doing posting each and every day. And and then when we're saying posting, don't forget there's offers and events. Offers and events coming to posting. So are you continuously updating Google? And staying top of mind to Google, getting crawls to pages that are relevant for us and on my website. Secondly, do I have events, and am I having offers on a weekly and consistent basis? You don't do it on this profile, but do it on this profile every day. Watch it for 60 days, and you tell me if it's worth doing. I guarantee you start doing it on everybody's stuff. It's worth it, yes.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps you. A couple of things there from Business Growth Ready. Chris will be the first to get Meta's new neural implants. Chris has a problem, says Nerdy.
No, not anymore.
SaaSpod says Craig wants to go on the boat. Absolutely, mate. Going on the boat when it's fucking nice and warm is absolutely the way to go. So,
I haven't seen that in a while. You're probably ready.
Dude, it's warm here just now, man. I might be in the boat tomorrow and Friday. I might go up there and work because it's really nice here just now. So, yeah.
Sounds good.
And SaaSpod, or Bogdan, which is his real name, he wants to do a podcast on the boat. He thinks it'd be pretty cool. So he's a podcaster or a podcast production guy. And he's like, man, it'd be good to do a fucking podcast on the boat. Like, how cool would that be? But I am kind of on the fence. I'm like, that's a bit prickish as well. Imagine sitting doing a podcast and you're sitting in a boat, and it's a bit like, I don't know. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think, well, what I can say is I have yet to see anyone else do it.
Yeah, well, that's his thing. He's like, show me someone else that's done it. And I'm like,
dude, that's sick. I've seen guys do it on like yachts and stuff, but you can't tell that you're like, especially if you have like an angle here, like both of you have the angle, and then like the angles are showing that, like, oh, look, you're on the boat in the middle of the water. Like, that would be sick, dude. Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool.
So
I would do it. Streaming it, nah.
But no, I wouldn't do a live stream, but record it and then you can
chop it up. Yeah, that would be sick. And then get the angles. Oh man, yeah.
How to float your SEO, Business Growth Ready. Yeah.
Well, I know some guys in Vegas create an LLC, aka a shell, and then what you do. And in next episode, see you, boys.
Oh man, we do it. We'll try it out, definitely, Bogdan. We'll try it out. But anyway, guys, we are finished for this week. But if you're watching this later on, please do comment. We'll ask any questions. We'll get back to you, and please do like and subscribe to the channel. Do check out chrispalmer.org and just find them on YouTube. Just search for Chris Palmer SEO. And lastly, do check out the news guy. The logo's above and the link is below for Randy's digital PR service. So please do check that out as well. But we will be back at the same time next week, everyone. So we'll speak to you then.
We'll be here. See you.
See you later.
See you.